EIDL grants are now being paid to viewers of this channel the remaining $10,000. Yes, viewers of this channel are now getting emails from SBA.gov inviting them to apply for the remainder of their $10,000 EIDL grant, which they applied for in 2020. But the great news across the board is that the EIDL grant is in the second stimulus package, which is now law, so that will likely reopen for everyone else. And it's in the third stimulus package bill, which will be called for a vote no later than February 22nd. In this Overnight LA video, I explain how to get the EIDL grant, what are the questions and what are the answers to those questions, and how to ensure you get it processed right away. Enjoy this Overnight LA video, throwing back the EIDL grant. Are agricultural businesses getting preferential and expedited treatment on the EIDL grant process? That's the bombshell shocking news for Monday, May 11th. This is LA Late. As always, thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe to this channel and drop your comments below. We'll feature them in today's video. This one is about the EIDL grant. We have a lot of comments. We're getting into all of them. There's another video today about the EIDL loan. And boy, we're going to answer every single question you gave us. All right, so two big shockers for money on the EIDL grant. First, there are now indications that those that applied not this Monday, but last Monday for the new EIDL grant and loan for agricultural businesses are getting preferential treatment. Many LA Late readers have been reporting that they applied for an EIDL grant on March 30th or March 31st and have still not received either a grant, let alone a loan application, but that agricultural businesses that open to the new EIDL grant and loan agricultural portal on Monday have received a grant, a loan, and funding for both within 3 days. LA has really no way to explain what's going on, but readers are not happy. What do you think about the situation? Finally, there's that mystery about March 30th to April 1st. A lot of readers have reported that they applied on March 30th and their application has gone nowhere. They've not even received an EIDL grant. It's unclear what happened on that day. All right, so let's get to your questions right now. Teresa says, I've been listening to you daily, so I took your advice and I called SBA and I asked for a Tier 2 rep. I did this twice, but today I finally got someone with definitive information. I applied for the grant on 4/3 and I forgot to click the box for the $10,000. I didn't put myself as an employee, so I reapplied on April 6th. So after talking to the rep today, I explained this to her. She pulled the application that I filed on April 3rd, and she said, this is one in the process. So she clicked both of my applications together, so hopefully they can review them as one. She also said she could see they had pulled my credit. That's great. We have never heard anyone on the phone for Tier 2 saying when they had pulled credit. She said they had pulled my credit. I checked with Experian, and sure enough, it was checked by SBA today. So now I'm waiting to see how things go from here. I'll keep you updated. Thank you for the valuable advice. I would have never done any of this without learning it from you! An exclamation point. Well, thank you. And the U is in capitals. Well, thank you, Teresa. Keep us up to date. And that's great. You're on the way. And when you get the EIDL loan email invite, jump onto our loan story as well. Loan video. All right, Zach says, I applied when SBA went back live online, so it was for agricultural business. After that, I got an email saying it not be processed during this time. I'm not in the agricultural business. No money as of May 10th. Zach, what went live, not this Monday, but the Monday before, was for agricultural only. So if you have never applied for an EIDL grant or loan before that date, you're out of luck. You may want to watch our PUA videos because you may be eligible for PUA benefits, which is a good deal, which is a good sum of money. Sahabi says, I got create account email and verify my identity for electronic disbursement fields, then denied the next day and waiting for their email. Oh, so I guess this is about the EIDL loan. I'm sorry to hear that. John says, still waiting for the EIDL grant since April 3rd. Wow, that's not good, John. Got to pick up the phone, call SBA, ask for tier 2, tell them how long it's been. Don't take no as an answer. If you know when the credit check was checked, if it has been checked, tell them that date. There's something going wrong. Christy, I applied April 5th and haven't seen any money, still processing. Same advice to you, Christy. Buy and sell stars Tucson Pawn Shop. I just got lost. Have people been getting approval for the EIDL with credit scores 605 to 615 Experian? No. Tucson, people with very low credit scores got the grant, but for the EIDL loan, it is just all over the place. It appears that the EIDL loan is dependent upon your credit score as checked by Experian. Ricardo says, freaking love you. And I freaking love that you did a 2-minute preview on the EIDL grant loan. If you don't know what he's referring to, Daily Now, what Elevate is doing is we are jumping on the live feature of YouTube and giving you a 2 or 3 minute live video preview of what we're taping later in the afternoon. So if you're wondering what's coming on and when we're doing it, just watch that 2 or 3 minute video. It gives you like a behind the scenes of what's going on. You are officially a real channel. Well, thank you, Ricardo. It's incumbent upon us to raise money to get you into a studio. Well, is your check in the mail? I can only imagine how helpful you'll be in the future with other topics. If you wish LLA to cover other topics, drop it below. We want to know what topics you want us to cover. You know, obviously, LLA is a news organization for 10 years, but generally entertainment and sports news. But what other financial topics you want us to cover, drop them in the comments below. Your videos are addictive. Please don't stop. Not sure if I'll be able to handle withdrawal. Thank you. Great videos. Well, thank you, Ricardo. And tell us the update on your PUA as well. Russell, any updates on the EIDL grant loan? My wife and I applied maybe 4 days ago after they first opened the portal in March. Haven't heard anything from the SBA other than eBow that everyone got from a few contractors I worked for. Also applied at the same time. Haven't received or heard anything from SBA. So Russell, if you apply for the EIDL grant and if you applied in late March, you need to call SBA. Ask for tier 2. It's been too long. Christina Morales, I'm just curious, how much are these agricultural grants for? It's dependent upon credit score. It's dependent upon a calculation. We detail that calculation in the loan story. But then there's also the grant, up to $10,000. Heartfelt Music. I love LL8. It's the best channel ever. Oh, well, thank you, Heartfelt. Thank you for your comments and drop us, keep us up to date on what's going on with you as well. Over the Clouds. My business was open for 2 weeks based upon the cutoff date. Was given a loan amount today of $5,500. Still waiting for the grant to be deposited. Applied $330. Surprise, surprise. Oh, wow. So got a loan of $5,500, but no grant. Oh, that's just not fair. Should have gotten the grant before that loan. And why such a low loan amount? Hard to say. Brian, LA, love your updates. Have you reached out to Congressperson to get an answer what's going on this? No, but I really think, like you think, that every business that click that button and ask for $10,000 should be getting $10,000. This $1,000 advance and $2,000 advance is just not appropriate. CARES Act called for $10,000 per business. It did not call for a calculation based upon number of employees. The Sanchez, I haven't received anything. It's very frustrating. Thank you for your videos. Very helpful. Call SBA. Get out. Know the information. Know the date you applied. If it's been more than 4 weeks, ask for tier 2. Know the date that the credit check was done. Tell them that. Don't get the answer you like. Call back again. Damien Dupuris. What exactly are they verifying for the loan? They're verifying your identity. And they're doing it through a series of questions on the website, but then sometimes they're also following back up. Buy and sell stars, Tucson Pawn Shop. Any information on the 9 out of 10 as to their credit scores? No, don't really know. Joe Jack, if you apply for a loan over $25,000, the SBA basically owns your business. Be careful. Uh, yeah, I mean, don't take a loan if you don't need a loan. Someone on yesterday's video for the loan story got approved for $150,000 and hadn't decided whether to take it. I mean, $150,000 loan with 4% interest just seems like a lot. Know your interest rates. If you don't know your interest rates, if you don't know what current lending rates are, research them. There's no requirement that you take the loan the moment you get it. Inform yourself. I mean, it's 4%. Do you really want to have 4%? And remember, it's an SBA loan. It's not like, it's not like a bank loan for a house. You refinance and go down the street and refinance. It's an SBA loan. It's a little bit more complicated. So know what you're getting into. Johnny Birch applied on March 30th, received a grant and an email about the loan, told to be patient, wait for the loan officer, still waiting. Be patient. As we said, if you receive the grant, it should be 2 to 3 weeks from thereafter receive that email indicating you've been invited to go into a portal from the SBA to apply for the loan. That email should be coming later this week if you received your grant money about 2 weeks ago. Karina, EIDL denied, no email sent, had to call to find out, applied for EIDL April 1st, received grant on April 23rd. So she received a grant on April 23rd, but the loan had been denied. Still hadn't received an email. The first person you talk to will just wait. Tier 2 associate answered after 10 minutes on hold. I was told I was declined due to bad credit. I think what she's referring to is the loan. At least now I know instead of waiting how many times. Oh, so this was one of the comments I really wanted you to listen to. I hope you're still tuning in. We have a lot of big comments we're still getting to, and this is a big one. This one, Karina says that she thinks that if you apply for the EIDL loan and are denied because of bad credit, a representative tier 2 over the phone will tell you. They can actually see it. And she said it's better than waiting around and guessing. So, yes, this is what she says. Yes, they can see if you've been declined in complete caps. Everyone is being told to keep waiting, but they know if you've been declined. Bombshell. Trout says, thanks for the video. Well, thank you, Trout. He says applied EIDL 4.8, credit pull 4.14, received $1,000 grant 4.15, received email for portal 5.8, submitted loan on 5.19. Site says application is approved. Well, congratulations. There you go. Oh, then we got more. The amount of the loan offered was strange. $1,096. My credit score is 800 plus. Wow. 800 plus credit score, but got offered only up to $9,000. Now, don't get me wrong, any amount of money is helpful, but $9,600 with a 800 credit score was kind of a slap in the face. It's a small retail business. We've been open for 3 years with one employee. I was hoping for something like in the $150,000 or $15,000 range. Thanks for the great videos. I agree too. What the hell is a $9,000 loan? I mean, it's like a bookkeeping error. It really is just, it is a slap in the face. Thomas says, thank you. Got a lot of information from your answer. I applied April 3rd, credit pulled April 23rd, received $1 grant the next day, have been calling and emailing SBA 4 to 5 times a day each day and was told to wait for the email. Will follow your advice and ask to escalate to tier 2, level 2 to find out status. Yes. And if you don't get the good answer, call back again. Norm, thanks LA for the videos. Well, thank you, Norm. Thank you for watching. Applied for EIDL on 3/18, approved 4/6 and funded 4/17. Applied for the EIDL advance on 3/30, but nothing came of that. So should we expect to get the advance even though they received the loan? That's a really great question, Norm. A lot of people have said that they got no grant, but got a loan, which is sort of like a big screw you. The loan, the grant is, is yours. You don't have to give it back. Where's the loan? You do. It has an interest rate. So to not get a grant advance, I just don't know. If you're watching this video and you got a loan, but you did not get a grant and you've not accepted the loan, I would recommend calling them up and say, hey, where's my grant advance? You gave me a loan. Why aren't you giving me a grant advance? I'd love to hear the response they gave to you because it doesn't sound right. It defeats what their exact system called for. Paul Ryan says, I'm in that March 30th group. Here we go. What the hell is with this March 30th group? Did the EIDL servers just crash and just throw the remains on the street in a sewer? People's March 30th applications have seemed to go nowhere. Andrew Fuller, Why are all the agricultural businesses getting processed so much faster than everyone else? Bombshell question of the day, Andrew. Really don't know. Agricultural businesses opened last Monday, not this Monday, but the Monday before that. They have gotten the grant, they have gotten the loan, all within about 3 days. And these poor people like Paul that applied on March 30th haven't gotten even to step 2. I really don't know where this preferential treatment and processing is going from. Jamie says, apply for the grant on 410. Haven't heard anything. Should I apply again? No. Can't apply again. But call SBA, ask for Tier 2. Know the date that you applied. Know the date that credit score was pulled by Experian. Ask for clarity. Don't get it. Call back again. Reese Cup. I called SBA today and they said that CUD had not checked my application status anymore and that 10% of the applications had been processed and approved. Oh, that's horrible. They also said you should wait for an email to create a login to the portal to see my loan amount. Yes, that's exactly what we detailed over the weekend. 2 representatives told me the same information. This writing game S-balls. Well, yeah, it's just 2 to 3 weeks after you receive your grant, you should receive this email invite to go to a portal. That's what we reported on Friday. All right, someone else in a very long message says that he or she applied on 3/30, then credit check on 4/14, a duplicate application on 4/24. This is IBYG Crypto. Enter personal information instead of business information. Use the EIN called 426 to 55 every day for updates from Tier 2 until it stated that a loan quote of $13,000 was approved. Was being processed. I received the portal invite. I wasn't sure if it was a loan amount for $13,800. I verified identity as correct information and just checked the portal Sunday night, said my loan was declined and that I'll inform me why it was not received. FICO score is 667, Experian is 657 at the time the credit was pulled. No bankruptcy, no derogatory remarks. Very confusing by this. I'm appealing the decision first thing tomorrow morning, but the process is very long as previous. I may better be off closing the business. Very saddening. Awful. But wait, there's an update. Just spoke with them this morning. After making multiple notes to my application over the past 10 days, it was declined because the start date error was 2/23/2020 and not 2/23/19 after 2/15/2020. I never got updated or changed. Simply notes were made. I was told I must wait the declined email response before submitting a reconsideration in a text box that will be provided along with it. There's nothing a Tier 2 rep can do. No grant, no loan, paid rent for April, May, considering just closing the doors to stop the bleeding. No help in sight, already applied for PPP on 427, still waiting. Awful. If you heard those details, there was something that was wrong in the start date submitted that triggered a decline in the EIDL loan. It triggered no EIDL grant. Then when asked if he could fix it, he was not allowed to fix it. Then he said to ask for a reconsideration. It's a very long process. Awful. I'm so sorry to hear this. Lee says all good on the loans until, not trying to scare anyone, but before you accept the loans, make sure everything is fine. I'm not going to read the rest of it, but Lee has a good point, which is be careful of what you are getting yourself into taking a loan. If you don't need a loan, don't take it. SH says, I'm surprised you didn't know how the EIDL loan amount is based upon. I did, but there's multiple factors beyond just the credit score and when the credit score that is triggering some people to get loans approved and others not. And also the range is very unclear. Logan loved it. Thank you, Logan. Thanks for tuning in. Corey Wright, great video. Well, thank you, Corey. Patrick, I applied on March. I got the email to create an account and accept an offer of $17,000 for a loan. I just wanted to be forgiven $10,000. What happened to that? Is that amount still forgiven? Okay, so Patrick, you have that strange situation that we talked about, I guess, where you got a loan offer of $17,000 but got a grant advance. As you know, the grant advance is yours to keep. You do not have to pay it back. But you got a loan offer of $17,000. So where's that $10,000 loan of grants? what I would recommend to you or anyone that's watching this video, if that happens to you, if you did not get a grant but you got a loan offer, call SBA, ask for Tier 2 and say, hey, why did I get a loan offer but no grant advance? And can I still get a grant advance? I want to hear the response because it doesn't make sense. You're supposed to get a grant advance. That's supposed to go in your pocket. I also want to know how that's calculated in your loan amount. So is that any part of the calculation when you're approved for a range of a loan? Is that grant that's already given to you part of the determination? A lot of big information. Running time of 18 minutes today. Drop your comments and we'll get back to them tomorrow. If you have a loan question, watch our Eidl loan story, which will be even longer today, answering your questions from Saturday and also from Sunday. As always, stay with LA for more.